I'm trying my best to articulate this. He played with a bravery on the ball that reminded me of kids in the park. Like,
Hmm.
it was almost like he had this spark to him, like, "Give me the ball, and I'm gonna make people dance. I'm gonna do something that's gonna make people happy. I'm gonna play football the way it should be played." And, man, it really the I would say the last time I saw somebody with that kind of I guess, fun to their game was like Messi and Ronaldinho. So I really felt like we were watching a guy who was gonna blossom because it seems like kind of unfathomable. Like this guy who's known for his creative genius and being this spark plug of energy and fun and happiness. It's almost crazy that now we're sitting here talking about how selfish he is and what motivates him, because it seems like it's very obvious that what motivates him is his own fame, his own money, his own all very it seems like it's all very selfish. Um no matter where he's gone, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Monaco, now Everton, and now Al Rayyan, seems like it's always about him. I showed you the picture of what he looked like watching
Hmm.
Ariane's first game, and he was like, "What am I doing here?" It's always about him. Like that's every move he makes. That's sporting, like what club he goes to, where he's. It's always about him. It's never about where the club can flourish or how he can help somebody, and in light, then put himself in a better position. It's always about him, and I think it's caught up to him. Um, I think there's still talent there, but nobody wants to deal with it. Um, Everton didn't want him, even though he's their most talented player. Colombia said, "You know what? Stay home. We'd rather do this major tournament without you." And I don't see a way back for him. I don't see, even if he lights up the Arabian League, which I kind of would be more. This is gonna sound crazy. I kind of be more surprised if he did than what I think is gonna happen, which he's probably gonna go there, do really well, do really poor, be inconsistent, have some golazos, not win anything. Because that's the story of his career after that World Cup.
That's harsh, but true. That's harsh, but true. And we will talk about how maybe he can potentially get back to the elite level of football. But I'm gonna piggyback off of what you said in the beginning and how much fun he had, or how he would just radiate joy when he was playing football, because he, as a player, of course, I mean, I'm mentioning the obvious right now, or I'm about to mention the obvious. He has a privileged left foot. That left foot, Messi, James, Roberto Carlos, those types of players. You put him in that, talent wise, of course. But maybe this is something that you didn't know. Maybe you did. But his mother, James Rodriguez's mother, said that James didn't want to be a footballer. James didn't like football, but he was just so good at it, and his father was a footballer, that at some point he's like, fuck it. I mean, I don't know anything else. It kind of explains everything now, right? You had a
Yeah,
look in your face that you're like, okay, well now I understand everything. But going back to the traits, he is literally the number 10. He's the number 10. Don't expect him to press. Don't expect him to drop back. Just give him the ball. He'll work his magic. He'll get you out of a tough situation when he feels like it. Right? That is who James Rodriguez is. He's creative, irreverent. He's cocky, very. He's the brain of the team. But he I mean, my goodness. Whenever I think of James Rodriguez, I think of the trademark long shots. That goal against Uruguay. Goals with Porto. Goals with Real Madrid. That scissor kick that he scored in the 15-16 season, I don't remember who it was against, but I know it was with Real Madrid. It was like the second or third game of the season. Rafa Benitez's very, very short stint at Real Madrid. He scored a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful scissor kick from the edge of the box. And that is what. But then I don't remember anything else that James Rodriguez did that season. I don't remember anything that he did that season because he probably didn't do much. He was hurt, and it definitely does feel like he peaked in July of 2014. That's where James Rodriguez peaked. But now let's fast forward a little bit. Why, Chris? Why do you think that he declined so much and so fast? You kind of touched on it a little bit, but now you could just let it loose.
It really seems like, man, I don't know if he has bad management, like a Harry Kane type situation, but it just seems like his mind is elsewhere when he's playing, and his motivation, it doesn't seem pure. It doesn't seem like he's playing for the love of the game. It doesn't seem like he's playing because he loves it. Like he wants to get back to what he was. It kind of just seems like he wants to go where James can be a star. And I don't know, man. It's he has to take a step back and really think about what kind of player he was, what his motivations were before all of this happened, and get back to the basics and take it from there. Maybe Al Rayyan is that move where he's taken a couple notches down in quality in the league to get back to the basics and get back to having some fun. But man, it's tough. You can say it could be the big money move to Real Madrid. It could be the pressure of consistently having to win titles there and not just living off your past success, having to deliver week in and week out. Because that's the thing with James is his most consistent spell was that World Cup. He hasn't replicated that into a season as of yet for any club, for Real Madrid, for Bayern Munich, for Everton. His form is usually a flash in the pan, and it's very unfortunate because I feel like before that World Cup, we saw much more sustained production from him, where it looked like he was that player full time. And maybe there's a game where he falls off and he's not the same guy, but for the most part, he's James Rodriguez. Since then, it's kind of like the complete opposite, where that player shines his head every comes through every once in a while, but for the most part, he's really quiet on the pitch. He's anonymous. He's not really calling for the ball. He's not brave on the ball. He's very much willing to be a part of the team, but that's not what you need from your number 10, and you nailed it. That is what he is. He's a sure as shit number 10, but that guy is not just any other guy on the team. That's why they reserve that number for the most talented, special player on the team, because you need to bring it. That doesn't mean being bringing being 100 out of 10 every week, but it doesn't mean being as inconsistent as he is. And you can see it all over football when these types of guys like a Mesut Ozil,
boom, you read my mind. Thank you.
Is not motivated and is playing for the wrong reasons. They're really tough to watch.
Yeah, because and no pun intended, but it literally feels like you're playing with 10 players. It feels like you're playing with 10. When a James Rodriguez disappears, when a Mesut Ozil disappears, that's what it feels like. You are carrying a burden that you're not supposed to be carrying. And I do feel like his decline really started after that first season with Real Madrid, because after that second season, things didn't go his way anymore. He didn't have Ancelotti backing him. he had Rafa Benitez, and then he had Zinedine Zidane. And I've heard this theory that Zinedine Zidane was jealous of James Rodriguez. He didn't want him to replicate his success. Come on. If you think that Zinedine Zidane was saying, okay, I'm going to put this guy on the bench even though I know that he can help my team. I'm going to put him on the bench because I don't want him to replicate my success. I don't want him to be better than me. I don't want him to have a bigger and better legacy than mine. You don't know who Zinedine Zidane is then, if that's what you think. But anyway, he never got along with Zinedine Zidane. James Rodriguez, always injured, lacked discipline. He was very lazy. There's countless stories of James Rodriguez getting speeding tickets in Madrid, going like 20, 30, 40 miles over the speed limit, kilometers over there in Spain.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of indiscipline, a lot of things that you don't want to deal with when you're a professional football team. You don't want to deal with those things. These are things that you deal with your 18-year-old son or daughter. You deal with those are the things that you deal with a teenager. He shows up late to whatever. Not with a 25, 26-year-old professional footballer that is your number 10, right? And as time went on, as his career progressed, it just felt like James Rodriguez needed everything, literally everything, to be perfect in his mind in order to succeed. Yeah. And it's not a coincidence that he only has succeeded with Carlo Ancelotti. And I am using the term succeeded very, very loosely right now because you can't really qualify that as success, what he has done in Europe. That is not successful. When you rate someone as high as James Rodriguez, that is not successful at all. And you can say, well, he won 2 Champions Leagues. Okay. Let's look at ourselves in the mirror here. Let's be honest. Was he an important part in those 2 Champions League titles that Real Madrid won?
Anonymous.
He wasn't even an important part in the team picture with the Champions League trophies. He was anonymous. That's perfect. He won a couple Bundesligas when he was out on loan with Bayern Munich. What happened
anonymous.
What happened when Niko Kovac arrived to Bayern Munich? Deuces. Shout out Tyreek Hill. He left because he didn't want to be there. And then he stayed in Real Madrid because Real Madrid couldn't sell him in what season was it? 2019, 2020, when he came back from that loan at Bayern. And Bayern didn't want him back. James didn't want to play for Bayern anymore. So he was kind of stuck. He was in a limbo. Like, what do I do? What happens? And he just didn't have much success.